Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And we are here, thankfully, talking about the final short trek, The Escape Artist, with Rainn Wilson, right? Rainn Wilson, is that his name? Can remember the guy from The Office, a show I didn't watch a whole lot. I like the British version much, much better. And I think that only ran for one season. So, hi everybody in the chat. It's a late one, so I had a choice. I was shooting a TV show today, so I didn't have enough time to do two videos. So I thought we'd just do this one live. I wanted to put as little work into this as possible. Apologies to you out there, but this was so bad in so many ways. Everybody involved with Star Trek should be hanging their heads in shame on how horrible this episode was. With when you have a comedian who, like, admittedly is funny in other things, and he directed the episode, I believe, right? I think I saw his name be directing this episode. Okay, so it's supposed to be the funny short trek. We start out with a little disco music, and it's supposed to be, hey, we're gonna see Mud escape from these predicaments in really amazing and fun ways. So we start out, and Mud is captured by Tevrin Crit, and he's got the family cudgel because he slept with his sister. And oh, well, maybe he's going to talk his way out of it in some clever way. But then we go into a flashback where he's in a similar situation, and he just gets knocked out. And then we, excuse me, he comes back, and he's still trying to talk this guy, and he kind of looks like an orc and a pig. And he's going to be taking him to Starfleet for the bounty. And he had just bought Mud from a giant female bounty hunter we know from the giant femaleness of her in the beginning. And then we get another flashback. That's it. We get flashbacks to what are supposed to be similar situations. Now, if a talented writer had taken this on, or maybe this writer was talented and just didn't care, took the money and left, we would have gotten, I don't know, something funny, something clever. But all we got was flashbacks to similar situations where we don't see him escaping. And at the end, we find out he just copied himself. There was really nothing to this episode. It wasn't really funny at all. Like, I didn't even smirk at any point. It's not even worth talking about. What we can talk about is how far Star Trek has fallen, and this is a sign of things to come. Do you think it's going to improve at all? So this is what they decided to present to the rest of the world to entice people to subscribe to CBS All Access. Was this, now that we've seen all four, they were all awful in their own unique ways. Unfortunately, Doug Jones, the great Doug Jones, is caught up in all this. And, I'm sorry, man, but you're in a bad show. You're in a bad show, and it sucks for you, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be easy on you, because I'm not. Especially when it's this bad and when you're doing something this horrible to Star Trek. And yeah, I know they must have been laughed out of the room by Netflix when this was presented to them in Europe. And they're just like, what? I can't believe you Canadians bought this stuff. Come on, you guys are better than that. I love Canada. But yeah, it's not even, the episode's not even worth talking about. It's just so awful. So the only thing that was notable in the episode was, I noticed it was basically they were trying to do a Shortville, and it ended up being a Short Trek. And it wasn't funny. I'm frustrated because I stayed up late to watch this, and it's I want Star Trek to be good. I really want Star Trek to be good. And this is the nail in the coffin. Star Trek Discovery season 2 is not going to be good. You can pretty much take it to the bank. It's a definite at this point. It is a fixed reality that Star Trek Discovery, hopefully it gets canceled. But if this is what, and they shot these on the side, I guess, while they were shooting season 2, between, firing showrunners and, bringing in Spock, and, oh God, I got a video coming out about Spock pretty soon. But yeah, it was just bad. So yeah, he finds out he's got Mud replicants, and they all start repeating a line at the end that I don't care. And it's sad. So the only thing again noticeable in this show was it was toxic masculinity on display. Mud is a psychopathic murderer too. He's wanted for 20 counts of homicide. Now the Mud I remember from the original series was a bad guy, would probably let people die. I just didn't see him being a cold-blooded murderer. I don't think he would have it in him. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. And I don't care. And neither do the creators of the show. Neither do the creators of this show. Oh, do you think this Picard series is going to be good, folks? I hope Picard. I hope Patrick Stewart changes his mind and just decides not to do the show, because now I'm cringing at the possibility of this show just being on the air at all. It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. I tell you, as bad as this, and as bad as the short treks were, this was the worst. Because you know what? Comedy's hard. Comedy is one of the hardest things to do, one of the hardest things to pull off. And when you half-ass it, you get what you got tonight. What we have here is people in charge of a major franchise, a major billion-dollar franchise, who don't know what they're doing. And really, it's like fun time for them. I don't know. And they don't care. They don't care about the fans. We're going to get clapped back, and pretty soon we're going to be hearing the same stuff about Star Trek Discovery Season 2 that I'm going through with Doctor Who Season 11 right now, waking up every morning to some lovely messages, and I don't give a shit. So yeah, let's get to the chat. This was stupid. This was stupid and an insult to everything Star Trek, and every Star Trek fan. I'd be so pissed that you paid for this, that you freaking paid money for this, that I paid money for this. You know, if this was over the air, over an antenna, that's fine. God, I'm waking up my whole household now. I'm so ticked off. Yeah, R.I.P. Picard. That show's going to be awful. And unless they scrap everything, get a new writer's room with Ronald D. Moore in charge. Yeah, I don't see much good coming out of this at all. Oh man. I can't. That's why I wanted to take the time to do an Orville video, which is a show that is worthy of all your time. Tonight's episode was okay. You know, it wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. I'm talking about the Orville, not this one. This was awful. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's get to the chat. Hey, you guys in Europe, you didn't get to see it, and you're welcome. You're welcome. You saved yourself 16 minutes. That felt like an hour, and yeah. Good morning from the UK, says Kate Warren. Good morning. Ian Batchelor, breakfast time. Well, good morning, UK. This is your edition of Good Morning UK, where Gary complains about Star Trek for about 15 or 20 minutes. Is that okay with you? Got some tea going? You know, got a little toast, a little jelly. Yeah. Anti-Trekker thought it was the best STD episode. Really? Okay. Well, I mean, that's not saying much. You know, Thomas, that's not saying much. I could make an analogy, but I have friends in the UK eating breakfast right now, so I won't make that analogy. But you can guess what it is. It's 9:20 a.m. in Europe. Damn. You got to sleep. I'm sorry. Yes, the programming note, I had to delay my Orville and this video today because I was there's a local TV show that does it's a horror, the old 70s horror shows where you had a late night guy introducing a B movie. Well, they're kind of making a comeback, these things. So yeah, Creature Features. I was on Creature Features. My episode will air in about 3 to 4 weeks, and they plug the channel a lot. And and the most important thing is, like, the guy actually watched, so he knew, like, I wasn't a Doctor Who fan or a Star Trek fan, and he liked that, and I really appreciated that, and it was really cool hanging out with them, and hopefully we can do some more stuff with them in the future. And I plugged Doomcock on TV. I hope he gets to see that. So, and a lot of people watch it in the Bay Area, so hopefully it helps both our channels. I plugged the Exozone. Hey Gary, done review yet for the Orville Primal Urges? No, DJ Bowman. I'm going to record a video or do it live tomorrow morning before my nooner. I haven't decided yet. It was an interesting episode. Judd Doug Jones should be captain. He has earned it. Daniel W. Yes, they should get rid of the entire cast, keep him, and start from scratch. You can stick with no, I don't even like the sets. Yeah, the sets are okay, but I mean, for a sci-fi show that's not Star Trek, um, and I have to, every time when I was rewatching Star Trek Discovery season 2, I had to take Dramamine because the damn cameras always go back and forth. Good morning from Scotland. Oh, that is freaking brilliant. God, man, I need to get over there. I need to get over there. I need to do a UK meetup. Dave Cullen shouted us out today. That was I was speechless when that happened. That was I was like, I noticed we got this insane spike in views, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I found out. Dave Cullen, thank you, sir. You do the Lord's work. I appreciate you. Gary, check the critics score on Rotten Tomatoes for Orville and after Disney bought Fox. It is hilarious. I will, Alexander. I will. Amy Johnson, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Gary. I'm back. I used to be Kenobi Crazy One, but I had to change it. I hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's. Amy, I did, and I hope you did as well. I had a fantastic holiday. It has been great. As upset as I am about a couple of TV shows, everything else is doing wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Why'd you have to change the name? You just want to change it back to Amy? That's cool. Hi, Amy. Thank you for the super chat. The Escape Artist was written by the writer of several Rick and Morty episodes, as well as a producer of several South Park episodes. Rainn Wilson directed. Austin Woods, then he mailed it in because while I am not the biggest fan of Rick and Morty in the world, it's a well-written show. I mean, it's not poorly written, and South Park is very good show. Very good show. So maybe he just took the paycheck. I don't know. But did you, I mean, if you're going to do something like the Escape Artist, then you have him escape. You have him be artistic about escape. You don't bring in Deus Ex Replicant at the end. That's yeah. My feeling is, in defense of the writer, is these short treks were thrown together hastily, and that's what actually I believe Midnight's Edge and Doomcock both reported that these things were just hastily put together, shot on the side while they were shooting season 2, and it shows. It shows. Jody, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, and we got $4.99 from a JPRPH1. Am I supposed to like pronounce that? JPRPH1? Is there a pronounce? Could you, if you could you tell me that? Thank you for the super chat. On the lighter side, how was your creature feature? It was great. It was lots of fun. And yeah, we got to talk about the channel a lot, and they were very cool people. And the set is amazing. I got to see Bob Wilkins' chair. I got to see some the Jesus doll from Being John Malkovich. He had it there. It was cool. It was cool. Yeah. I've been on TV before at the comic shop, but they came to my shop. I've never been on a set or been interviewed, and it was tons of fun and surreal. This whole whatever's going on right now is completely surreal with the channel growth and getting shout out by Dave Cullen and stuff. It's really cool. So I'm glad you're all here, and it's thanks to you guys. You know, that's the one thing I promise. If you're new to the channel, we kind of started out as a live channel. Now I do recorded videos, and obviously they do great. They do fine. But I'm never going to stop doing live streams. This is it's honestly, it wouldn't be fun if I wasn't able to talk to you guys. That's the best part about this, is the interaction, because honestly, you guys are the co-host because you're a lot more funny than I am, and smarter and creative. And God, you guys came up with great Christmas ideas, and yeah, it's lots of fun. Sorry to get all mushy on you, but that's how I feel. Yes, what's up? Congratulations on 22,000 subs. So you think you'll hit 100,000 subs by the end of the year, maybe sooner? Jody, bless you. But one day at a time. That's how I live my life, and that's how I don't wanna That stuff could be, it's very dangerous thinking for me personally. So, kind of like how the Star Trek writers should start, like with the Star Trek writers, what the biggest problem with they are with them is the same problem with the DC extended universe is everybody wanted to have dessert first. So you decided to go to the mirror universe in season 1 and made it the focal point of your season 1. When by the end of season 1, I didn't know a single name of any crew member. All I identified them as person who nods in affirmation to Michael Burnham. So every time Michael Burnham says something, they always went, or, or. That was it. That's all they did. Actually, I have screen caps of all of there's quite a bit. That's for a video later, though. I'm not sure what's better, the nodding in affirmation or Jodie Whittaker's facial expressions. We need more Captain Ed Mercer. We do. We do. Harry Mudd was a comedic character that wasn't anything sinister. There wasn't anything sinister about him. Angel, you're right. Like I said, I found him, he was comedic. He was swashbuckling. Now, again, I'll stand by that. Like if there was a ship going down, he would save himself first, but he wouldn't murder people. But this is, would it be going out on a limb and saying that the people who wrote, not the person who wrote this episode, but say some of the people who write for Star Trek probably have only seen like a handful of episodes? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Do you? I don't. I know I work down there. So one of the biggest shocks to me when I went down to Hollywood to work was how little work was put into stuff. And I'm not talking to, the hard workers are the people who work on the sets, post production, the craftsmen, they work their asses off. But the tops, the producers and stuff like that, it's incredible what little work they do. They are excellent at bullshitting. That's it. So if you think like, hey, somebody's going to take on the Star Trek franchise, well, here's what I would do if I was given control of the Star Trek franchise and I haven't seen every episode. I would make it a point. The first thing I did is go get a house somewhere, live in seclusion for a month, and watch everything twice, maybe 3 times, and take notes, lots of notes. Not go to canon camp, not a 2-hour canon camp. Like, take your job seriously. You're getting paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Take it seriously. That's the problem with STD. The bridge crew are practically glorified extras. They are. And by the way, Jody, like the whole pay rate is affected by if you speak a line or not. So, crew person number exactly. Spectrum dropped Fox. Can't watch Orville. What? Really? Wish they dropped BBC America. They dropped Fox? Wow. Why no Q in New Trek? Bryce, that's a good question. Oh, because they just screw him up too. What they would do is they bring Q in and he'd have a bad dad. And plus Q's a white male. If they're going to bring a Q in, they're going to bring in a female Q because that's a position of power. So did you notice in this episode that the position of all the positions of power were women? Now, ladies out there, I know I've got ladies in here. Totally respect the ladies. My wife makes more money than I do. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with a women boss. I've had plenty of women boss. This is not about this. This is about what I've been noticing in our entertainment lately. If it's once in a while as a gag, hey, funny, no problem. I don't have a problem with it. But everything I'm seeing, especially the big franchises, I'm seeing that every time there's a position of power, it is given to a female. Now, is this a course correction? Yes, of course it is. But it's done almost every time, every single time. So the 3 times there was a position of power, yes, the female bounty hunter turned out to be Harry Mudd at the end, but it was still a female at the beginning. Then he was dragged around by a little girl and called weak. And then he was strung up by some green guy, but then a girl came in because they were on camera, called the male an imbecile. And then the whole thing about Harry Mudd, he wasn't a likable character. the thing is, Harry Mudd, to be honest with you, Harry Mudd annoyed me in the original series too. Ask my if you see Doug in here in the chat, he'll know. He annoyed me then. He wasn't one of my favorite characters. So to make him worse, whatever. I mean, like they seem to bring in all the bad things from Star Trek. The step siblings. What's next? Spock's brain. Well, actually, Spock's brain is fucking masterpiece compared to any of this stuff. And actually, Spock's brain is not really that bad, to be honest with you. I mean, it's comparatively, that's not as bad as the hippie episode. Okay, the hippie episode where people are singing, that is bad. But again, as far as the course correction, of course, there needs to be one. Yes, but what you do is you do it normally. Okay, yes, you cast more women. Please do. You can put more women in power, but it's everything. I'm even seeing an Counterpart now. Counterpart, the last couple episodes, every boss was a woman when it used to be a pretty normal mix. When you start noticing things and it pulls you out of our entertainment, it reeks like they're trying to satisfy the Bechdel test, or in the BBC's case, I thought I said it halfway as a joke, but I'm dead serious now that they have some sort of checklist. And I thought it was exposed in the New Year's Eve or the New Year's Day special, when we were introduced to a policeman who didn't give his name, but told us he was gay. Again, no problem with anybody being gay. It's just weird that goes, "Hi, I'm gay." People don't do that. Okay, I'm in San Francisco. People don't do that. God damn. So yeah, that was the only thing I got out of this episode. So yeah, I'll keep this one. We'll go for a couple more minutes here. Orville is the Star Trek we deserve. It is. I heard some people didn't like tonight's episode. I kind of did. I liked tonight's episode of the Orville. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, like, was Star Trek ever going to take on porn addiction in the holodeck? Come on, that's pretty funny. Spock's brain is entertaining. Angry for as much shit as I've given it in the past, and other people, I've watched it like 20 times. So I mean, it's Star Trek season 3. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. I was talking to a gentleman tonight who was the producer of the Creature Features, and man, I got to get this dude on the show because he owns all of Bob Wilkins, who used to run Creature Features, 16 millimeter interviews with Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, George Lucas, Gary Kurtz, all the cast members of Star Wars. This was prior to Star Wars blowing up, so they were just still like young, poor actors. Man, I got some good stories tonight. They were good. And some of the films, For the Love of Spock, a lot of the stuff that's in that is from the guy I talked to tonight. Is right. I love hearing that. I'm just kidding. Also, see, I'm married. I don't hear this very much. Is right on point. Nerdrotic channel is right on point, especially about the deadbeat dad trope, which is something those who work with children wish Hollywood would ditch, as the only foments the stereotype. It certainly does. It certainly does. And what they're doing is they're working out their daddy issues within scripts. There's a thing called therapy. Sure, you can do it once in a while. Once in a while is fine. But I'm not bitching about stuff that's once in a while. I'm bitching about stuff that's all the time. Silhouetted Animator, $2 says, "Hi, Gary. I'm gay, aka happy." Amy Johnson, yeah, I did just want to change it back. LOL. I watched American Werewolf in London recently. What did you think of it? I wanted to let you know I also became a patron. Wow. And have to spread the word. Amy, thank you so much and appreciate it. And what did I think of the original American Werewolf in London? One of my favorite all-time movies. John Landis at his finest. That movie, when it came out, it did kind of freak me out. I was young though. So, but I love that movie. I own that movie. It is freaking brilliant. The one good thing about my trip today up there is I live in San Francisco. So if you're in the UK, you've never heard, maybe there's a place called Walmart. It's this giant superstore, megaplex, super duper store. Well, they don't allow them here in San Francisco. So I was up in Santa Rosa and I was happy as a little girl because I saw a Walmart and I got to go look at action figures, and I got the complete Blu-ray of all the Star Trek movies for $30. $30. And then I got the complete Angel. It was DVD, but whatever. It's the complete series of Angel for $40. I was so happy. So there, see, the day wasn't bad at all. We're going to be doing some retro reviews on Patreon, by the way, Amy. So, and I'm going to be doing requests, but I'm going to start doing retro reviews of my favorite Doctor Who episodes to cleanse my palate of season 11. Hopefully you will enjoy those. It wasn't a big bombastic story, but it did remind me of the shades of, say, Voyager. Remember when 7 of 9 was addicted to the holodeck simulations on Chakotay? Yeah. There was another one too. There was another holodeck. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name now. The guy from A-Team. What's his name? The insecure, neurotic engineer guy. I can't remember. It's late. Creature Feature, you're taking me back. Hey, OG Phantom, it's back. It's on KOFY Coffee TV 20, which you can find on the internet, by the way. They have a YouTube channel and they stream it on Saturday night. So I'll be on in like 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Bilbo Baggins. Barkley, thank you. God dang. This is things I should know. Well, this is why before Star Trek Discovery, see what I'm doing for prep for Star Trek Discovery, an awful show, is I am watching Star Trek. I'm in doing the original series, and I will be hitting Next Generation in about 3 or 4 days. It'll be fresh in my head then. Lieutenant Barkley. He went through a holodeck thing too, right? I seem to remember that. I don't think it was porn addiction, but Barclay. Yeah, we go. That's right. He ran some bizarre programs. The one where he had Picard's sword fighting was funny. Yes, that was it. It was such a weird character, but I ended up kind of liking him. He connected to the ship's computer and took over. Jesus, Gary, it's almost 4 a.m. here. Yeah, it is 1:45 here. So we're gonna cut this one off, folks. I'll be back tomorrow morning shortly for a nooner. So I'm gonna do a special Friday nooner because we're not doing Friday night tights, unfortunately, because I have a meeting to go to. So we're moving it to Saturday. Okay, so that's just go to nerdrotic.com and check out the schedule, and you can see everything there. Hey, Amy, thank you for joining up on Patreon. I really appreciate it. 24 Nerdrotic stream now. Hell no. Silhouetted animator. No. I saw Jeremy. No. Jeremy's young, a lot younger than I am. Okay. And he's got a team. And my team is Mrs. Nerdrotic helps me answer some messages sometimes. That's about it. That's about it. Okay, everybody. Hey, you have a great night. I'm sorry Star Trek sucks, and I'm sorry Doctor Who sucks. I'm sorry Star Wars sucks. At least maybe The Mandalorian's going to be good. I don't know. But there is a lot of good stuff coming out, and I will be doing an Orville video tomorrow. Maybe we'll just do a live stream in the morning before the nooner. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But please keep an eye on the schedule. There is another Doctor Who video on the way on Saturday as well. And thank you again to all the new subscribers. Welcome everybody, and everybody out there who's been sharing and spreading word at the channel. I can't thank you enough. And I will see you very, very soon, actually in a few hours. So please join me. Have a good morning, UK, and may the small folks sing songs of greatness.